so long, but sometimes I just get the urge to like make a video, talk about my life. And right now I really want to make book videos because I just love reading. I want to talk about romance books on here, talk about books to people who read the same ones that I do. If anybody watches these videos, I don't know, even if not, like, it'll be fun to look back on later. So that's my plan. This is gonna be a reading vlog of Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, which is the first book in the Boys of Tommen series, and this video will have spoilers, just a warning. So if you haven't read the book and you plan to, maybe don't watch this video. But if you've already read the book, or if you aren't opposed to hearing spoilers, hello, keep watching the video. This book is extremely intimidating, so this video is also kind of like motivation for me to keep going. This is Archer's voice. This is Binding 13. Huge, huge. And the text is so small. But yeah, I have to work tomorrow. I'm gonna get ready for bed, which means I have to put my retainer in, and I didn't want my retainer in the first clip of the video. So I'm gonna go do that now, and I'll be back and I'll start this book because I don't have to be at work till 4:30, so I can stay up late if I want. It's fine. Okay, I'll be back. My arms always get really cold when I'm reading, so I had to put a sweatshirt on, but I read the first chapter. It was 10 pages, took way too long to read them because the pages are so big and the text is so small. But I'll get used to it, and I can already tell the characters are going to be so well developed. I mean, I would hope so, because it's so many pages and the text is so small. I already know I love Shannon and I love Joey. Obviously that could change. It's hard to say that you love a character because they could do something really bad and then you could hate them later. I think I'm gonna read through chapter 3 and then go to sleep, even though I'm really tired already. But I just don't want to log 10 pages on Storygraph. Like, that's just sad. 3%. Oh god. 3% of the way through this book. I'm so tired. Shannon just got hit with the ball. She's so traumatized from being bullied her entire life, obviously. And it's just sad because she thought that he hit her on purpose. And when he promised her that he would never have done that, she like let him take her entire weight because he was like walking her to the nurse's office and she was like tense because she thought he did it on purpose, and then he was like, no, I would never do that, and so she just like completely relaxed. I can already tell this book's gonna be really sad. Hello, it's the next day. I have like 2 hours before I have to leave for work because I don't have to leave till 4, so I'm gonna read some more of Binding 13. I don't know, like, I don't have any goals for how far I want to get before I leave. I'm just gonna read and see where it takes me. I also want to start editing the Get Ready With Me video. I didn't update you before going to work because I was only able to get like halfway through chapter 5, so I'm updating you now. And I got home from work and I showered and I finished chapter 5, and I love the like taking care of the other person while they're sick or hurt trope. And after he hit her with the ball, he was like so nice to her, which like I would hope he would be, you know? He like took care of her and it was sweet. But also I just want to say, in my head everyone in this book is 18 and they're in college. That's what I do with Euphoria, and I just finished Addicted for Now, and Daisy's supposed to be 16 in that book, but in my head she was 18. Also, Johnny really wanted to see Shannon's file at the school, and without even talking about it, Gibbsy just knew that he would want to see it. So he sacrificed himself, I guess, to be able to get her file because he just knew Johnny would want to see it. And I'm just like, oh, I already left Gibbsy. And also Johnny just has not been able to stop thinking about Shannon. He was thinking about going to see her at the hospital because she's there getting a scan to see if she has like a concussion or anything. And I really hope he goes to the hospital. But I don't think he will. But I really hope he does. Hello. So, we were gonna go play mini golf because I'm off today. I am wearing a red shirt, which I usually try to avoid on my days off, but this is a little boy's t-shirt from Target if you want it. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, we were gonna go play mini golf and we found the hours and it said it was open at 11, so we went down there at like 12 and they said they open at 2. So now I have like 2 hours to read, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna go read outside because it's warm and pretty outside and I love reading outside. It's like my favorite thing ever. So especially on our like covered porch when it's like sprinkling, the best. Okay, I read a little bit and then we went to play mini golf and now we're back home. We've been back home for a long time and I've just been reading since we got back. It's like 8 p.m. now. I read so much more when I'm outside. I don't know what it is, but I'm part of the way through chapter 17, which is page 164 to be exact, and I just can't stop reading, but I have to be at work at 7:45 in the morning tomorrow, so I need to stop reading soon. I'm gonna try to stop after chapter 20, at least until I like pack my lunch and shower and like get ready for tomorrow. I forget the guy's name because frankly I don't care, and there's so many characters in this book it's hard to remember everybody's names, but there was some weird guy being weird to Shannon, and so of course Gibbsy to the rescue, and then Johnny showed up and broke his nose. So he won't be messing with Shannon again, which is great. And now because of that, Shannon missed her bus that takes her home, and so you know what, wait, so Johnny's taking her home currently. Well, kind of. They're currently in the car just talking to each other, and I really relate to Shannon right now. She's finding it so easy to talk to Johnny, and she's amazed because it's usually not easy for her to talk to people, especially people that she's just met, and I'm just like, oh my god, like, anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, my theory is that he's gonna start taking her home after school every day because, well, I don't know though, because he has training and stuff, but there's only one bus that comes through, that goes through her neighborhood, and it stops at her school at 5:30 and school gets out at 4, so she's waiting for an hour and a half after school to be able to go home. And because of the weird man that we don't talk about, she missed the bus, and so that's why he's driving her home today. But I'm thinking he's gonna offer to take her home every day, but I don't know though, because he has like rugby training and stuff. I'm really enjoying it and I'm like speeding through it, and the size and the size of the text and the size of the book is not as intimidating anymore. Like, I'm just ready to keep reading, so that's what I'm gonna do. The weirdo's name is Ronan, by the way, but I also just wanted to mention the way Johnny looks at Shannon, just filled with curiosity and wanting to know more about her. And also she reads romance, so I'm like, I relate to her so hard. She said she likes autobiographies, fiction, crime, thrillers, romance. She's not picky. And he watches her while she speaks, his gaze intense and searching. And he says, "You're a reader." It wasn't a question. It sounded more like he was banking that piece of information away in his mind. Also, good is like their word. Like, it just keeps coming up in conversation. Sometimes they'll just say like, good, 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 until one of them stops. These updates have all been within the last like 5 minutes, but I also can't wait for Johnny to meet her siblings, specifically her youngest brother, because I feel like he's gonna be really good with kids. It's just a feeling I have. It's been literally 2 seconds since I last updated you. She says, "My survival skills are terrible," and his voice is a little deeper when he says, "I don't know about that." His expression shifted then, growing more intense. They sat there and talked for 3 hours. He was still smiling and his eyes were warm, his tone soft. When he asked, "Why'd you transfer to Tallman?" She says, "It's sort of private. Girl, he already knows. He read your file." "Hey," I felt his fingers brush against the back of my hand, his voice closer now, soft and probing. "Where'd you go?" 'Cause she turned away when he asked about why she switched schools. He can tell her head wasn't there anymore. His thumb is smoothing soft circles over her knuckles. Y'all, I'm not well. He says, "Sorry, I shouldn't have done that." And she says, "It's okay. I don't mind." She's asking about his injury. 'Cause he's just casually massaging his thigh. He just told her about his injury, and literally nobody knows about it except his parents and Gibbsy. And it's quite a private injury, one might say. Now he's mad because he told her about his injury, and he's afraid she's gonna gossip and tell people. Shannon Lynch, you really think she's gonna go telling people? No. Now he's speeding. Great. And there's just so much tension in the car when he literally told her. It is sad though, because he feels like he can't open up to anybody without them just telling everybody his business. Shannon says, "I had loosened up, bantering back and forth without the fear of backlash, and then he dragged the rug right out from under me. I hadn't seen it coming, and I was regretting ever coming out of that bathroom stall." Oh, and she's nervous, riding in the car with him. This is not good. Okay, she covered her face with her hands, and he says, "What's the matter?" She says, "You're going too fast." And he slows the car and says that he's a good driver and she's safe with him. And they're going the limit, I guess. But he still slowed down. So we're fine. It's fine. Like he sensed me watching him, Johnny glanced sideways and caught me red-handed. I smiled weakly. He stared heatedly back at me, unsmiling, and her smile faded. "No." With a low, frustrated growl, he turned his attention back to the road. I'm thinking he's trying not to have a crush on her. I think that's what's happening. He says, "What I told you back there about my surgery, I would appreciate your discretion." She says, "Who would I tell, Johnny?" And he says, "Your friends." And in a much quieter voice, "My friends." It's sad that he can't even be open with his friends. They're arguing. No! Literally their first night of like actually talking and becoming friends, they start arguing. Yes! And now she's disappointed that she let her guard down. And now she's trying not to cry. No! Shannon. She says, "I think this was a terrible mistake. I should have never accepted a lift from you. I think you overreacted tonight. I think you handled yourself terribly, and I think it would be best if you and I didn't talk anymore." I'm proud of her, but also, please keep talking to each other because I need you to be together. Even if it's just like as friends. Like, how long am I gonna have to go where they don't talk? Because that's concerning. Johnny has an old dog that he got for his 3rd birthday. That's hair is turning gray around her nose. Her name's Suki, and she's probably gonna die before the end of this book. I'm concerned about that. I just started chapter 19. Shannon's dad is horrible. I mean, we already knew this, but they get paid in Ireland for each of their children on the first Tuesday of every month, and it's the first Tuesday of March. So he got the money and he already spent it on alcohol. Second of all, he's mad at her for being late and just being so mean. He just hit her. with rolled up newspaper. He's got the picture of her with Johnny on the newspaper. Thank God for Joey. He is like stronger and bigger than her dad, their dad. So their dad is like afraid of him. It's 10 o'clock and I have to be up at 6:15 to get to work at 7:45. And I'm tired and I can't stop reading this book. I just finished chapter 20, so I think I'm gonna stop there. I really hope that at least Shannon and Joey are able to move out of that house. Preferably all the kids and the mom. I just realized I've been using the wrong edition of Binding 13 on Storygraph. So I've been using this one, which is 887 pages, and this is the one I'm reading, which is 606 pages. So I'm gonna be a lot farther along in this one. Hello, this is me opening the book to continue reading. I think I can get through 3 more chapters. That's only like 16 pages before I go to sleep. I did shower and I picked my outfit and I packed my lunch and it's 11:45. I'll be fine. Okay, good news. I had to go like 5 pages without them talking. They're already talking again. Okay. She goes up to Johnny and he's surrounded by other boys. And she goes, I need to talk to you. And he goes, leave. And both Shannon and I were like, oh my god, he's telling her to leave. But no, he was talking to the other boys and telling them to leave so they can talk. He's asking her who made her cry. She's not currently crying, but her eyes are red and swollen. He says, give me a name and I'll take care of it. For a split second, I debated naming my father just to see if Johnny would follow through on his word and take care of him. Please do. She says, I need to tell you something. And he says, yeah, you do. A name. So he can go beat up whoever made her cry. I need to go to sleep. Also, I love these bookmarks. This one's the Aaron Warner one. And then I have this one too that's Gus Everett. And it's like little flowers. And they're just clear, so it looks like you just have flowers in your book. Page Petal. I love them. They make books for all kinds. I mean, I'm tired, can you tell? Bookmarks for all kinds of book characters. I'm gonna go to sleep now. And I really want to keep reading. I love this book so much. Also, Bella is getting on my nerves. I had to get up at 6:15 this morning to go to work. And it's currently 5. I also love how my dog starts barking as soon as I start filming. That's really awesome. Anyway, all I've been able to think about all day is this book, so I need to read more. Also, it looks like I've been wearing this sweatshirt for like 3 days straight. And I mean, I haven't not been wearing this sweatshirt for 3 days straight. I just love it. But I only wear it like as pajamas. And tonight's the last night I'll wear it. Maybe. Who knows? Shannon just threw up in the hallway. And Johnny is there comforting her. She felt this like terror about something, like she just had this gut feeling that something really bad was gonna happen, like to the point where she clearly threw up, and she barely had anything to eat for lunch. He just noticed her neck is bruised from her dad. Oh right, I remember her saying at the beginning that she threw up a lot when she was anxious at her old school. That happened a lot. He just gave her his jacket. Stop. Stop. He was dropping her off at her house and he felt weird about leaving her there. Like, she hasn't told him about her dad, but like he just has this feeling that something's off at her house, so he couldn't leave her there. And she's getting back in his car And I'm so happy, because that's what she was nervous about, was going home. He says, come with me. Come where with you? I don't know, Shannon. I don't know. I have no clue what's happening to me. I just know that my gut is telling me not to leave you right now. I saw something flash across her eyes then, something that looked an awful lot like relief. Also, this is like a super slow burn. They're building a friendship, and I'm getting to see all of that before they begin a relationship. And I think that's better than just a really quick romance. I prefer a slow burn. He just called her his girlfriend, but like to her bullies that they saw at the restaurant they went to. He told her to go wait in the car, and now he's confronting the bullies, and he called her his girlfriend. I'm like tearing up, because how could anyone even think about hurting this girl, or any girl for that matter, but like, or anyone for that matter, but I don't, like, he gave her his wallet and keys to go sit in the car while he talked to her bullies. She goes, you can count it here, your wallet. And he goes, what? And she's like, I thought you might want to like count his money to see if she took any. Like, she thinks no one will trust her, and like, I don't know. It just really hit me that she's like been through so much. I cried a little bit. Okay. He goes, I better take you home. And she goes, of course. And he says, or we could go see a film. They're gonna go watch a movie. I hope she never has to go back home. I'm not ready for what's gonna happen when she goes back home. I fell asleep while reading, and now it's 2 in the morning. I just randomly like stopped in the middle of a chapter and fell asleep, and I started panicking because I have to be at work at 11 today. I thought I slept through it, but we're fine. Hello. I worked today 11 to 7. I have to be back at work at 7:45 in the morning, but all I can think about is this book. So I'm reading some more. I'm on chapter 35. Currently, Shannon's showering in Johnny's shower because she got attacked by his dogs, like love attacked, not like bad attacked, but she like got mud all over her and everything, so she's in the shower, in Johnny's shower. And Johnny is questioning her brother Joey about her bruises, but Joey's not telling him, which I'm glad for. He's just saying like, if Shannon trusts you enough, she'll tell you. Johnny is so amazing. Like, he just held Shannon while she sobbed because her mom had a miscarriage and her dad's back home, and she was just experiencing so many emotions at once, and she was just sobbing, and he just held her there. Then they were going downstairs because he's gonna make her something to eat, and he picks up his dog that's like a heavy Labrador and carries her down the stairs because she has arthritis, and he just wants her to be able to be a normal dog and experience the things that she used to experience when she didn't have arthritis, I'm assuming. He's so sweet. And I'm crying a little bit. I really want to keep reading because Shannon just fell asleep in his arms, basically, on the couch, and it's her birthday, and she's like spending a day with him. Keep in mind, this is the same day that she cried in his arms and he made her food. This is all in the same day, and it's still happening in the next chapter, and I really want to read it. I really do, because I feel like she's gonna like end up spending the night there and stuff. I can't keep reading. It's 1 in the morning and I just can't afford to stay up any longer when I have to be at work in 6 hours and I have to be up in 5 hours. They're about to kiss. So this is my reaction. Oh no, he's not kissing her back. He's not breathing. Oh no. Oh god. Aww, her first ever kiss. I didn't even think about that. And he didn't reciprocate. I think he was just shocked. Okay. Well, that was fun. She just found a playlist called Songs for Shannon, and they're all love songs. And they're also sitting on the bus together, and it's amazing. And he said that he's gonna talk to her about something tonight, and I feel like it's probably like a relationship deal. He said he's gonna take her home after the rugby match, and they're gonna talk in his car. So I don't know what it's gonna be, but I think it'll be like, you know, I'm leaving for the summer, but I want to be with you. Like, could we do long distance, or could we just be together for now and then see what happens when I have to leave? I don't know, some kind of deal like that, maybe. But I also have a feeling he might get hurt at the match, because I know there's like a scene in here where he's on morphine and like Shannon's there and he says a lot of things, so I feel like he might get hurt and like have to get surgery or something at the match instead of the talk. And I kind of hope that happens, because then he won't leave in the summer. Selfishly, I don't want him to leave, but I know that that's his dream. Oh, also he went to her house and helped her study, but I was so scared the whole time that her dad was gonna come home. Oh my god, I was panicking, but he didn't, thank god. They've talked a lot on this bus. She told him that she was bullied at her old school, so that was a big step, even though he already knew that from her file, but she didn't know that he knows. And he told her that he's in pain all the time. They just care so much about each other. It's painful. Okay, first of all, he just kissed her on the forehead. Second of all, he loves her, and he's gonna tell her tonight in his car. I'm gonna film my reaction, because I feel like it's gonna be good. Johnny needs to go to the hospital. He just got trampled on the field, and Shannon thought he died because he was face down and wouldn't stand up, and then they tried to get him on a stretcher and he wouldn't get on the stretcher. I hope Shannon convinces him to get help, because this is not good. If he keeps doing this, he's never gonna have a future in rugby. He needs to go now and get help, instead of pushing himself to the point where he will not be able to play rugby at all anymore. And I think Shannon's the only one that can convince him. Maybe Gibbsy, but I don't think he even knows the extent of the pain that Johnny's in. Like, it's bad. Thank God for Gibbsy. Johnny actually is getting help because he was bleeding. He left a trail of blood from the field to the, like, emergency sport doctor room. I'm pretty sure that's not what it's called, but that's what I'm gonna call it. And he has to get surgery. Gibbsy says, "You'll play again, Johnny, it just won't be right now." And Johnny says, "Right now is when it matters. Right now is all that matters." And Gibbsy goes, "No, getting you healthy is all that matters." Thank you, Gibbsy. I do feel bad. I mean, he's literally bleeding on a table right now, so like, how could you not feel bad? Johnny is hurting. Shannon went and found him because she was worried. She said, "I'm so scared for you." He arched a brow and she flushed beetroot red and said, "I should leave you be. I'll go wait on the bus." And he says, "Can you stay with me?" She goes, "Huh?" He goes, "I don't want to be on my own." She said, I can go and get Gypsy. And he goes, I only want you. I knew he was terrified over his prospects of playing rugby, but all I could think about was that he was in one piece. It was that overwhelming relief and concern flushing through my veins that provoked my next move. She held his hand and said, you're gonna be okay. And he says, I'm in pain, Shannon, I'm so scared. They just described his injury in disgusting detail. Like, ugh. And Shannon was like, let me see it. And he's like, no, you don't want to see it. But he finally let her. I don't know why she wanted to see it. Oh my god. She just kissed his thigh. She just kissed him on his lips. I'm not okay. Also, I have dry shampoo in my hair. She says, I'm sorry, I did it again. He just kissed her. Am I hurting you? Only if you stop. Oh no. No! I was so caught up in our kiss that I didn't hear the changing room door open. I don't want to turn the page. It's his coach. His coach says, I see you're feeling better. The paramedics are there too. This is so embarrassing. Do not tell the parents. Why? Why do you have to do that? Is this the kind of reputation you want starting off at Tom and Miss Lynch? They were in a room, a private room. Nobody was supposed to know about it. His entire body is shaking in pain. He needs to get to the hospital. Let's have this conversation later. Or never. This is like the worst place to stop, but I have to stop after chapter 63 because I'm tired and I have to be at work at 10 tomorrow, even though there are only 30 pages left and like 5 chapters. I need to go to sleep. He's about to go into surgery and I need to know that he'll be okay. But he will be. There's a whole second book about the relationship, so he has to be okay. Shannon says, I can stay or wait outside, and Johnny goes, I'll be okay, and he winks. Even though he's in so much pain, he's still like assuring her that he'll be okay and winking at her. Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Johnny just got out of surgery and he's so high. I'm like getting secondhand embarrassment from the things that he's saying to his parents, but also he's like asking for Shannon and saying that he's in love with her. I only have like 20 pages left. That's horrifying. He just told her that he loves her. Granted, he is extremely high, but he did say the words, I love you, Shannon, like the river. Oh my god, he said it again. Now he's asking Shannon if she'll have his babies. This is a mess. She just told him that she loves him. He's high on morphine, okay? I cannot say that enough. Who's making you sad? Tell me, baby. She goes, nobody, Johnny. He says, you lie and it hurts my heart. All those marks. It hurts when I know someone's hurting my Shannon. Who's hurting you, baby? I'll fix it. I don't want to cry right now. She says it's a secret. I read ahead. Inhaling a trembling breath, I clenched my eyes shut and pressed my lips to his ear. My father. And then he fell asleep. I bet you Johnny will remember that. I hope he does. So, this is... Oh, sorry, you literally can't even see me. This is Johnny in his head. He's going... My father, why was I hearing Shannon say those words, and why was my heart telling me it was vital? I remember that I didn't have her number, and even if I did, I couldn't call her because her father took her phone. My father, what am I missing here? Johnny! Remember. There's one more chapter. I'm just gonna film my reaction. It's only 4 pages. Okay. This is Shannon. I didn't want to go home, but I knew I had to. I didn't want to get beaten, but I knew I would. And they know about the kissing situation in the changing room, and Johnny's coach finding them because he had to tell their parents. So now Shannon's parents know. Ew. Oh my god, her dad. I hate him. There aren't words to describe what I feel towards that man. Like, it's so much anger and hate that I feel towards him. He's horrible. Like, there are no words to explain. Oh, her little brother's trying to stop their dad. Her brothers are watching. They're 11, 9, and 3. And they're watching their father beat their sister to the point where she's bleeding. Y'all all need therapy. So much therapy. She just passed out. In her head, she's going, you're back in that room with Johnny. He's telling you he loves you. You're okay. Like, she's trying to think of good memories. I can't do this. I'm trying to calm down. This chapter is a lot. Ooh, it's ending on make a choice, mom, him or us. Talking about, this is Joey saying this, talking about their father or the kids. That's the last sentence. Kind of feeling I need to start the next book, but I won't. I can't. I don't have time. I'm gonna let this process, and I'll make like a sit down clip of me talking about this book. Oh my god, the emotions that I went through. I gotta think before I can talk, but oh my god, this book was really good. Okay, I'll see you probably tomorrow to talk about it. Okay, I've had time to think about this book and reflect, and there's nothing really I can say except it's just so good, and you need to read it if you haven't, which I hope you have if you're watching this, because I did spoil some things, but it's just so good. The things Shannon's been through, I feel like I'll think about her every day for the rest of my life because she's just so incredibly strong, and I just love her so much. And Johnny, I love him too. The stress that he's under, they were so well developed in this book because it is 570 pages, but it did not feel like 570 pages. This is the longest book on my story graph, probably the longest book I've ever read in my life, and it just, there have been way shorter books that have felt so much longer than this book because I was so in it. I wanted to read it during all of my free time. Like, I thought about it 24/7, and I will continue to think about it 24/7. Like, even though this book was 570 pages long, I'm already ready to go into the second book. Like, I just can't get enough of Johnny and Shannon. Like, it's already, I already have my bookmark in it. I'm ready to go. Ooh, it fell on the floor. But I just cannot recommend this book enough. The friendship, Claire, Gibbsy, he made me laugh out loud multiple times, and that usually doesn't happen when I'm reading. Like, I can recognize when something's funny, but I usually don't literally laugh out loud when I'm reading. But Gibbsy made me laugh out loud. And Johnny at the end when he was high on morphine, I was laughing. His poor mother was like, please make him shut up. The fact that Shannon just immediately felt like she could trust Johnny, even though he hurt her the first day they met, when she's been wronged by men in the past. Her father, we hate that man with every bone in our bodies. Who's with me? He's a horrible, horrible man, and she's been hurt by him physically and mentally, and then her first day she was hit in the head with a rugby ball that Johnny kicked, and she still just felt like she could trust him immediately. I really hope that Shannon, Joey, and their siblings are able to get
out of that house, because it did leave on that cliffhanger where Joey was asking their mom to choose between their father or her kids. And I did read a little bit of Keeping 13. I read like a little bit of the first page, and it starts right where this one leaves off. So I'm excited about that. Also, bear with me, this is my first ever reading vlog, so it might be incredibly boring and horrible, but just bear with me because hopefully they will get better. And yeah, but if you have not read this book, I cannot recommend it enough. It is intimidating. It's extremely intimidating, but it's so worth it. Yeah, please read it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye.